What up, y'all, and welcome to the channel. For all of you guys that are new, we want to welcome you to the Flatlander family. Hit that subscribe button below, and also leave me a comment with your name and maybe where you're from so I can give you guys a shout out, or just leave a comment below. I usually go through them and pick a few. So we're going to get into this week's shout out. Ricky Creason, Dwayne Smith, Watchman 77, John Turner, JG, Raul Pena, Venture and Rome, Too Busy 2JB 73, and Andrew Bradley. Thank you guys. Y'all all left me comments within like the past 5 days, and I want to welcome every one of you guys that are brand new. Now, for you guys that are, and girls that are brand new to hunting, this is how I process a buck in the field. Same thing applies to a doe as it does a buck, other than maybe if you're gonna take the cape and have it mounted later. And I go through that process also. But I wanna warn you, this is very graphic, but this is how we eat as at my family. I have to process these animals, and this is how we go about doing that. I do let this video play out a lot. I don't cut much out of it. So you get to see almost every knife cut that I make whenever I'm breaking this buck down. So it's the gutless method. It's how to get the tenderloins out, and it's caping the buck. So if you want to take him out and get him mounted, enjoy the video. All right, I'm getting ready to cut this deer up, and I want to do a little more in-depth on how to do the gutless method and how to cape a buck in the field. And this is the easiest way that I've learned. And I'm going to explain it as best as I can and try to get as detailed as footage as I possibly can as well. I just rattled this buck in, killed him at 35 yards. And a great buck here in Kentucky on some public land. Anyways, so let me explain what I'm going to do, and then I'll start filming it, because I am unfortunately by myself. I don't have anybody here to hold the camera. I do have my tripod, but I'm gonna explain it first and kind of show you where to make the cuts. That way you know, and then I'm gonna try to set the camera up to where you can see exactly what I'm talking about. So let's get into it. Okay, so here's our buck, okay? And we want to save this dude right here for a shoulder mount, okay? So the first thing that that I want you guys to do, and this is the first thing that I do, let's get him kicked up here kind of on his side. Okay, so the first thing that I'm gonna do in this video, once I get the camera set up, is right here at this, I guess you would call it kind of his second ankle. I don't know what this part of it is, but we're gonna take and we're gonna cut all the way around, and we're gonna dislocate this leg, and we're gonna cut it off right here on both of them, this one and this one, okay? So that way, whenever we get ready to tube them out, we don't have to deal with the hoof or anything, because really the taxidermist is only going to use about from right here to right here and up, okay? The next thing, after I get his legs taken off, I'm going to take and I'm going to come right here behind his shoulder, okay? You see his shoulder right here at his elbow. I'm going to come back here like 4 or 5 inches and cut all the way around, just like that, all the way around, and get it to where I can peel this hide up and back, and then start just keep peeling it and keep peeling it and keep peeling it to where I can get in here to his shoulder, and I'll basically just, that's just caping him out, and I'll basically tube sock him out all the way up to his neck right there, and then we'll cut his head off, okay? And after I get that done, after I get him cut all the way around, right, Then I'm going to take and I'm going to start cutting his back straps out and cut his hind quarters out. And I'll try to get that as detailed as I possibly can, okay? There's another knuckle right here, right there on his hind quarter. You can see that joint right there. Well, this leg comes apart right here. So since I'm packing this dude out, I'm in here, man, I'm probably a couple miles from the truck. I'm gonna take and try to take and get as much weight off as I possibly can. So also, whenever you're getting ready to take the back straps out, okay, you're going to have that cut that goes all the way around right here, right? And then I'm going to take and cut down the backbone all the way down to back to here. And then I'm going to start taking that back strap out all the way up to the shoulder. And hopefully I can get this in as much detail as possible whenever I start cutting him up. All right, they can cut around his. You want to break it? They're definitely getting a rut up here. I can smell them bad. Now we're going to get our cut going all the way around. I'm going to roll them over. We'll start right there. When you're cutting hide, make sure and pull up with your knife as you cut through the hide, and it will divide the hair follicles, not cutting any hair, keeping your meat very clean. Go all the way around. I'm not going to do the backside yet because I'm going to go ahead and take this shoulder out. After I take this shoulder out, then I'm going to work on the back strap and then the hind quarter on this side because I don't want to roll him back and forth too many times. So at this point, once you get him cut around on this first side pretty much, now you're just going to start filleting this hide back up towards his neck so that you can expose this shoulder, and then you're going to pull that shoulder off. Basically just pull his hide up and just start filleting him out. He's got a lot of fat on him. Okay, now I've got this shoulder semi-exposed here, so I'm going to take, and you can feel where his that scapula kind of comes down right here, and I'm basically just going to take and cut right in underneath that that shoulder. See that? There's the shoulder blade right there. If you can see that, it's the cartilage part of it. All right. Cut your little handle in right there to put your arm through. Be real careful. You're not going to cut that hide too much. Bring it back up here. Okay, see how this works? See how that shoulder went in there? Then as you pull that leg out, the hide's just going to come right off of it. You're just going to trim right around that leg. See how it tubes off of there? That's it. There's your front shoulder. Okay, next thing, I'm gonna go into the back strap. This part of the hide doesn't matter because we're not gonna keep any of it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut him straight down his back to reveal that, that back strap. All the way back to his hind quarter. You can go back even further if you want. So all that's got to come off anyway. All the way down his backbone. Start flaying that skin back. Go ahead and take this skin back. Okay. All right, okay. Now we have his whole back strap revealed on this side and his hind quarter. So if you come and feel right here, there's like a hip joint. Well, that's right where that back strap ends. So I take that hip joint and cut straight in, all the way down to the backbone kind of. And now I want to take and cut all the way up the backbone right here. That way I can start taking that, that back strap off. Feel his backbone there. Know that I'm going to cut in right here. And I'm just going to start filleting that meat off. The back strap lays right on top of the spine, and you can use that as a guide all the way up the neck to retrieve the entire back strap. All the way up into that neck meat. There's the back strap. All right, now we're going to take this hind quarter out, and then we'll be done with this side. Flip them over and repeat. So I'm going to cut all the way down to basically his ankle. On the hide. Okay, that reveals his leg. Make sure, yeah. Okay, there's a socket right in here that I'm gonna go for. I like to start from the inside first. That way I can get close to the guts and not have to worry about anything coming in on that back side. Cut right here next to the guts. You're not going to get into the guts. And then you'll see that ball joint. You hear it just pop right there. See how it just lays right open and cut right up by where that back strap was. I don't know if you can see that hip joint right there, how I dislocated it. Yeah, perfect. Now I'll lay the leg over on this side, and then I'll trim this stuff out right here. Use the pelvis as a guide. So every cut you make, you want to make sure you are right up against the bone to save as much meat as possible. Okay. Grab a hold of the leg, trim around that bone. Keep in mind, I am moving very fast so I can make a video. On a cold morning like this, you have a couple of hours, so take your time and just go through the process. Boom. All right. Here's that joint that I'm telling you about. Okay, you see it right here? If you cut right here, it's like right at his knee. See how it folds? You pop it right in the middle, then it comes right out. See how that? Hope I got that. Now we're gonna flip him over and do the other side. Okay, same thing again. Continue your cut right here around, fillet that up, and then fillet everything else back. Just keep working it, keep processing it. Right behind that shoulder, 4 or 5 inches. Okay. Okay, you see his shoulder right up from here, and then you come back, you see this muscle right here. You can feel you can feel that scapula right there. Right there, you can really feel it. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put it in right behind his shoulder. Okay, there's the scapula. Put yourself a little handle so you can pull on them. And just tube sock him out. you go. Okay. Now, we'll continue on. Get the back strap out just like that other side. Right down that backbone. There's a layer of skin on top of that back strap. You can pull it back like that. That way you can see what you're doing with it. See all that clean meat under there? Perfect. Okay, come back and find that hip joint right here. Or I think it's a hip joint. I don't know exactly what you would call it. It's not the hip joint. It's basically like his pelvis. Right beside that pelvis, cut all the way down to the backbone, and then start filleting that sucker out. Remember to use the backbone as a guide when removing the back straps. Back strap. Up close and personal. Okay, now time for the hind quarter. You're gonna want to cut the hide all the way down to his, like past his knee right here. And just fillet that you are supposed to leave sex, so this is right here. Just leave it on this hind quarter. There's your ball joint. Cut around his pelvis. Come back to the other side. Damn leaves. Cut the rest of the way around his pelvis and his backbone. That's it. Okay, so this is a tricky part right here. If you want to get the tenderloins, they're tucked up in here behind the last rib. Okay. So if you come, you look, there's a short, a short, a short, a short, a short, and then here's this long rib right here. All right. Cut all this out of your way. So right directly underneath this is that tenderloin. You just cut right in here, just like that. You see that? That's the tenderloin right there. Run my hand down it. You can almost take this thing out with just your hands. Cut it right back here towards that pelvis and run your hands up and down it. And you'll just cut just down that backbone to kind of take it loose. Be careful now because the guts are right here. There you go. There's tenderloin. Clean as can be. Beautiful. All right, y'all. That's how to do the gutless method. I'm gonna flip him over and get that other tenderloin out, and then I'm gonna finish caping his head. So now we've got all the quarters off of the buck. You can take and finish caping him out. You want to be careful as you move up his neck. When you basically want to move, pull the skin forward like this. And as you're moving forward, you just want to be trimming away all of the stuff. And then you're basically going to take this skin and pull it all the way up his neck. Separate the hide from the neck all the way up to the base of the skull. Then you want to sever his spine and dislocate his head from his neck. These leaves stick to everything. Yeah, I'm doing that. Just sock him off all the way up his neck, and then you'll cut his head off. That gives you a good idea on how to do it. Well, y'all, I got him cut up, got his head all cleaned up for the most part, and just wanted to tell you guys, this public land stuff is just some of the funnest stuff that you can hunt. And don't ever give up. You know, here it is, Halloween. It's the last day. I've been away from my family for since last Sunday. And just don't be afraid, man. This tag cost me $335, and I came out here and had a freaking blast, other than the 7 inches of rain that we got. But hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Leave me a comment below if you have any questions or anything like that. Just hit me up on Facebook, Cole Wilkes. Flatlander. Thank you guys again. I'm gonna head to the truck. I got a bit of a pack to get.